Hello and welcome back, and in this video we're going to be talking about container spacing between the VStack and LazyVStack. We briefly touched upon it, but let's go ahead and build an actual example. But before that, let's talk about it a little bit. So LazyVStack and VStack are similar in many ways. Like, there are some subtle differences. For example, VStack only takes the space needed to display content, whereas the LazyVStack fills the horizontal space as much as possible, as you saw in the last video. Now, we're going to create two cards. One is going to use a VStack and the other one is going to use a LazyVStack. Now, all the modifiers we're going to keep as same, so both containers look similar and or like have the similar UI, but we want to check out the difference in spacing. Okay, because right now in the earlier example we saw, like, the behavior in another container, but we want to see this behavior in its natural form. Okay, so I'm going to create another example 2. And we're going to create a VStack first, which is going to host both of these views. Okay, and I'm going to give example 2, basically replace this example 1 with example 2 so we can see as we type what's going on. All right, so we're going to basically give spacing of 50 points to the VStack, and then we're going to create a text. So first one is going to be a VStack example. We're going to create a VStack. And this VStack is going to have 2 text views. All right, and then we're gonna give this whole thing a foreground color of white, so everything will disappear, but we're gonna come back and fix that in a minute by adding another modifier. So let's go ahead and add that modifier. Now we're gonna add a background modifier, and we're gonna say the background is going to be a rounded rectangle with corner, not corner size, but corner radius as 20 points. Okay, and then we're gonna fill this with color dot orange. Let's try gradient and see if it actually works for the fill. It does. Okay, so this is our VStack example. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this guy, and we can actually paste it right underneath. So the second one is going to be a LazyVStack example, and like I said, every single other content is going to be same except the fact that we're going to say it's lazy. Now if you notice that both of the views have exact same UI, but your VStack, which is this one right here, is taking only the space needed to render its content, versus the LazyVStack is taking the space that is provided by the UI, basically the entire horizontal space. Now, in some cases, you may want to limit how much space your VStack should take, or you may want to change the way VStack actually lays out its views. Now we can do that very easily. So let's go ahead and try out the VStack. So we're going to basically expand VStack for the entire horizontal space, and we're going to basically limit the LazyVStack with a maximum value. So we can simply add, basically this is right before the background modifier, we're going to add a frame modifier, and we're going to say we want to define the maximum width, and we want to say that it's going to be infinity. So take as much space as possible or provided by your parent view, and that makes your VStack look exactly like your LazyVStack. Now let's go ahead and change this with the LazyVStack. So I'm going to go same, basically give a frame, and we're going to say max width that our LazyStack or LazyVStack is going to take is going to be 350 points, essentially shrinking it down. So it's not going to take the space that is basically provided by the view, but the space or the width that we have actually specified. Okay, and space I'm talking like, in the horizontal like direction, so I should rather say the width. Okay, so it's not going to take all the width that is provided by the parent, but only enough to actually render. So this is going to be the maximum. So if the content is less than this, like and if this was a VStack, it would not take 350, but in case of LazyVStack, it's always going to take 350 regardless of the size of the content, because that is not computed like for the LazyVStack case, but content size is always computed for the VStack to make sure all the content fits in. Okay. All right. So with that, we have reached the end of this video where we explored the spacing differences between the VStack and LazyVStack. In the next video, we're going to continue to explore a little bit more about LazyVStack. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you.